What's going on? This is Friday Night Live. My name is Gary and we're drinking some beers. Super excited to get into this week's episode because this is a Pilsner party. I'm going through 8 different Pilsners that I had in my fridge. Every week when I plan out this show, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I kind of take it as it comes, and lately I've just had a ton of beer sitting in the fridge ready to go, and I realized, wow, I got a lot of Pilsners right now, and this is going to be the perfect time to drink a bunch of them side by side. So thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you guys are all well, and this is that time. This is that time for you to hit the fridge, pull out some beers, maybe a Pilsner if you got one, and drink along with me. So comment in, let me know what you're drinking. Caroline says 8. Yeah, I know. I said the same thing myself. I just kept seeing them. They kept coming out, and I couldn't say no. What's up, Mr. 2020? Pops is in the house. Caroline's here. Mega Man Podcast. Alosta Brewing. I got your beer coming up kind of near the end, so probably in about 30 minutes. Art Darius is in the house. The Beer Venture. Rob Ray. What's going on, guys? DJ Peter B. What up, yo? We got Mama Mignoni in the house. All right. Good to see you guys. Art Darius is drinking that fresh mango pills. I just picked up some of those cans today. Super excited to get into them. I'm actually focusing more on German style pills today, and going to do another episode later on with more like hoppy California style, West Coast style pills. So this is all going to be German style, pretty traditional all the way through until the last beer, and I'll save that as a surprise to the very end. But it is a take on a Pilsner that I've never seen before, so I'm really excited to try it out. What up, Javi? Mega Man's drinking that red beard. Black and Beardiful, how's it going? ESBC in the house. Aaron, what's going on? The Cask Man. All right, so we're going to jump into it. 8 different Pilsners. I got about an hour, and I'm going to have to run through these. And I'm a little bit nervous because Pilsners, compared to IPAs and other bigger, more flavorful, kind of like aggressive styles of beer, this is going to be a little bit more challenging for me. Sometimes they can all kind of taste similar. I just pulled them all out of the fridge too, so they're all really cold. So this is going to be really interesting. I'm going to do my best. And we're going to kick things off with a beer from outside of Los Angeles. This is Crispy Life Pilsner from Liquid Gravity in San Luis Obispo. So gotta love the can, just really pops at you with all those colors. Let's see, what do we got? 4.8% German style Pilsner. Got some notes here. What do I got? This has got Saffir and Tettnang, zesty citrus, herbal hops, soft graham cracker malt. Let's see if it holds up. All right, crisp and clear. Wow, that is a brilliant light gold. Nice foamy head right on top. Tiny white bubbles. Ooh, got a little foam on the nose too. Yeah, got a really nice bready malt character. Touch of sweetness on it. Grassy. Little herbal, little floral. Really nice though, super well balanced. Nice looking beer. So this is Crispy Life Pilsner from Liquid Gravity. And basically I'm ordering these from lowest ABV to highest, which is kind of ridiculous because they're all really a range of 4.8, which is this one, up to about 5.5. So, kind of negligible, but I'm going to do what I can with these. Yeah, really nice, really clean. Big grassiness on this. Nice herbal character. The nose gave it a little bit more like malty sweetness. On the flavor, on the taste, really not getting that sweetness. Nice malt backbone, don't get me wrong. But the sweetness is dialed back. They call this a graham cracker like malt presence with an extra crispy finish. I can see that, but if your mind, you read that and your mind's going, sweet honey graham cracker type of malt character, it's not really that. You know, it's kind of dry. Not really getting too much sweetness, which I like. I'm all about that. Crispy, dry, a little bit of faint spiciness on it too, but great grassy herbal character. I'm going to say this again and again. This is a beer I could drink all day long. This is a weekend warrior. Crack the first one open, Saturday morning at 10:30, and just keep them coming all the way until 8 p.m. When you pass out on the couch. Very nice beer from Liquid Gravity. I'm a big fan of what Liquid Gravity's doing. They're executing a lot of different styles really, really well. I think that their West Coast IPAs are delicious. They do a lot of different hazy IPAs. I'm not a big hazy fan, but I think a lot of people like what they're doing on the hazy game. And then this is the second lager I've had from them, and this Pilsner's delicious. It's really great. They really knocked it out of the park. So that is Crispy Life Pilsner from Liquid Gravity. And we're going to keep this moving along quickly. Again, 8 different Pilsners tonight. And we're about to move into a Pilsner that I've had many times before. It is one of my favorites. It is a staple in my beer fridge. This is coming straight out of Hawthorne, California, out in the South Bay of Los Angeles. This is Fresh Pils of LA from Common Space. Great looking can. They recently kind of freshened up the design on this can, but this is just a really nice, you gotta love the name first and foremost, and kind of the tribute that this beer name and label kind of plays to the Fresh Prince. And it's just kind of like LA all the way. You got like a really cool illustrated Dodger Stadium, LAX, a bunch of cool stuff there. They got the Common Space Hollywood sign right there, with that very classic LA kind of hazy sunset going on, that kind of pastel blue going into orange and pink. Everybody knows that. So I got that right now. Now I can't really see much of a great sunset like that, but this is a delicious Pilsner, and I can't wait to crack into it. So let's do this. Fresh Pils of LA, Common Space, 5%. So lagered for 6 weeks. This beer, selection of water, minerals, malt, and hops produce a brilliantly clear and crisp beer. Hint of sweetness from the Pilsner malt is the perfect balance to the noble hops. Gonna crack it open and see what it's like. Again, I've had this many times before, and it is one of my faves. All right, so we have just a touch lighter in color than the previous beer. I'd say this is a pale yellow gold, crystal clear once again. Nice little head sitting on top, and we got a bunch of friends just jumping in here. Fernie Pad, what's going on? 8-Man Brewing, Not a Gallon, Last Drop Beer Fest, what up? Art Dare says, hope you have some Enegrin in today's lineup. You know what? I actually don't, and you're totally right. That is a huge oversight. I didn't have Enegrin in my fridge. So I pulled everything from the fridge. I didn't buy anything special. I've been put on strict notice, buy no more beer for the time being, and so I'm trying to get through what I got. What up, Pellaman? What up, Penumbra Brewery from Baja, California? Gordon Vance, what's going on, brother? We are digging into Fresh Pils of LA from Common Space, 5% German style pills, and this has more of a floral, spicy nose than the last beer. Last beer leaned heavy grass, heavy herbal. This is leaning heavy, spicy, and kind of floral, perfumey. Very interesting. This is going to be a really interesting tasting when you kind of have like the quintessential crispy boy. People just tend to think it's going to be light, crisp, easy to drink, and you can just throw them back. But doing them side by side like this, I think is going to expose a lot of characteristics of these beers that you can typically overlook if you're just having one of the same beer. So let's give it a try. Really nice. It's got a wonderful back end hit of bitterness that kind of rounds this whole thing out. The floral characteristics really coming through again on the palate. floral, a little bit spicy with that bitterness. Not super complex, which is actually just the way I like it. No hint of Pilsner malt sweetness, really. I mean, it's there, but it's balanced out by some really nice bitterness. This is a little bit more bitter than the last beer. I like this, as a West Coast IPA drinker. One of the things that I really like in German style lagers, in Pilsners in particular, in Czech Pilsners as well, I like that hit of bitterness that you get on some of these beers. That kind of herbal spicy thing going on with like that bitterness. I'm all about it. So yeah, this has got that in spades. Really good. Again, comment in, let me know what you're drinking. Hopefully some of you guys got some lagers going on. I know a couple of you guys got some of those Highland Park Malgo Pils. But yeah, a bunch of you guys have jumped in and I want to know what you're drinking. It's 7:17 p.m. and I'm about to open up my third beer, technically. Pops is drinking Beachscape VCBC Hoppy Pils. Nice, drinking that Pils. I love it. Sounds good. Fernie Pad's enjoying Short Lived by Made West and Beechwood. That sounds really good. Really enjoy that series from Made West, and Beechwood and Made West are a killer combo together. All right, so next up is another beer from Los Angeles. This is out of Pomona, Homage Brewing's Tristeza Pilsner. 5%, and this batch is hopped with Tettnanger and Supersaz. So that's going to be a really hopped up, souped up version of Saz hops, which do produce really nice bitterness, really nice kind of herbal spiciness as well. So again, a lot of the things that I liked on that last beer, I'm expecting to enjoy in this beer. This is also a beer that I've had before, most recently a couple weeks back, and that was the first beer of the day for me then, and I'm interested to see if this beer hits me the same way that it did then. So again, Homage with that like really classic minimalistic, like this just like embodies their taproom aesthetic. If you've been out there in Pomona, they have that like really minimalist light wood green plant style. It's just super cool. It's way cooler than me. So this Pilsner label really just kind of embodies that as well. Love what Homage is doing. Such good beer. Beers and Brawls Babe is drinking STS Pils. That is a great Pilsner. I wish I had that in this lineup too. Fernie Pad also has some baseball lager by HVB. Nice. I haven't had that one. I don't think I've ever had that one, so I bet that one's really good. All right, Tristeza Pilsner. German style Pils, 5%. Tettnanger and Supersaz. So we have another really nice crystal clear, very similar to the last beer. Just a touch of kind of filmy haze on this beer. Like it's pretty clear, but it's got just a touch. The other two beers, I think, really set a standard in terms of clarity. So this is pretty clear, but has just a slight haze on it. And then again, a really nice looking head, small white bubbles on top. Nice nose. A little fruity. Yeah, I'm getting kind of like, there's a potpourri type of vibe on it, but like, when potpourri has kind of that like dried orange. Herbal. A little bit of that noble hop spiciness. That Tettnanger and Supersaz coming through real nice. So I think that's the thing that I really enjoy most about German style Pils is that you get German ingredients in these beers, or German inspired ingredients, at least. And so getting some of that like noble hop going on is really up my alley. It's a nice change of pace from all of the modern hop varieties that really tend to kind of bring you to tropical fruit and orange and pineapple and all the same things that, I kind of feel myself talking about week after week after week. These noble hops, are a different change of pace. They give you a different look at what flavors can come out of beer. And again, it's nostalgic in a way because this is beer flavored beer. This is kind of what, the American light lager that we all kind of started on was modeled after. So enough talking, let's drink it. Really nice, and this does ring true to my memory of a couple weeks back, where I think that this Pilsner in particular is going to have one of the more softer bodies compared to the others that we tried today, and I could be wrong, but there is a softness to this Pilsner that you don't typically see. It does have crispness, so like it's not like completely soft. It's not like a complete unfiltered hazy type of beer. But it does, you know, through that crispness, it's kind of dialed down, and it's got kind of like this softness that, you know, when you drink a very crispy Pilsner, you kind of get that bite and you're kind of like, ah, yeah. This one doesn't have that as aggressively. Grassy, herbal. Again, we're going to get a lot of those same flavor characteristics. There's like I was pulling through on the nose, a little bit of fruit. Yeah, I mean, I think just kind of like dried orange peel. Lime zest. You know, it's got like a touch of citrus. Really nice beer. This is, I mean, awesome. I think that change of pace in terms of the body, that little softness that this beer brings, is a little bit of a different look for a traditional style or German style Pilsner, and I'm all about it. It's really cool. Yeah, they don't all have to be like super fucking crisp, so that's really cool. And we're gonna keep moving on. We're almost halfway through. Brewer Brit, what's going on? Liam P. Jenkins, D14, David. Sorry, I'm screwing up these names. Captain Volk, I've seen that name before. I would click wave on all you guys, but that would just take too long. Let's try it. All right. So we're gonna keep things moving to another German style Pilsner. This is gonna be hard to see on camera. This is Penelope Pils, a very kind of like dainty looking can design, very Instagram worthy. And this is interesting. I'm seeing Italian Pilsner on the label. When I was looking this up, I was getting German style Pils. So I think this might be a variant of, you know what? This isn't Penelope. This is Paisley Pils. Okay, so they do have another Pilsner that's called Penelope Pils. It's a German style Pilsner. This one is Paisley Pils. So all the notes that I took on this beer are for the wrong beer. So we're just gonna have to dig into it and try it as we go. Let's see what it says. 5.4%, naturally carbonated step mash, Italian Pilsner, dry hopped with noble hops. Okay, that's all we really need. So Humble Sea Brewery, up in Santa Cruz, known for those foggy IPAs, also do a lot of other styles of beer, and I have heard great things about their execution on lagers. I haven't had any of their lagers to this point. I had the Penelope Pils a long time ago, but other than that, I haven't. I had a Kolsch style ale, but I've been told by people that know beer that really what their best stuff is their lagers. And so I'm really excited to try this Italian style Pilsner. And so when we're talking about Italian style Pils compared to German Pils, I don't have, you know, all the notes in front of me in terms of what makes them different, but from what I understand is that these have a bigger hop presence. Usually there's a dry hop, that they have a little bit more bitterness, so we shall see. I haven't had an Italian Pils in several months. Let's give it a try. All right, so we have another very clear, nice head, small bubbles, you know, kind of following suit in terms of the aesthetic. Ooh, that nose. Yeah, that nose is definitely different in a very different direction than some of these others. Pellaman says, I had their triple black IPA collab with Rip earlier today. Nice. King Harbor, what's up? Humble Sea artwork is sick. Yes, I agree. Art there says, I think they're spicier. Yeah, we shall see. So, yeah, on the nose, you are getting definitely like a little bit of like white pepper, grass. Yeah, it's got like that herbal spiciness as well. Big aroma. Compared to some of these other beers, this is a bigger aroma. I would venture out to say that it could be dry hopped. Dry hopped with noble hops. I'm down. Very nice nose. You gotta love noble hops. There's an earthiness to this. Like, it's not when someone says, I've got a dry hop beer for you to try, your nose and your mind doesn't typically go in this direction, and this is really cool. So this is a step mash beer. Let's see what that malt character comes through as. Really nice, super smooth. Got a really nice citrus component to this beer. Again, lime, orange, a little pininess to it too. Like kind of like bright forest green. Really nice. No sweetness. That the malt character on this is just like it creates a wonderful foundation for the hops to play on, but it doesn't overpower them whatsoever. Really smooth, really rich. There's a complexity to this beer that doesn't, it's complex, but it doesn't make you think. It's one of these beers that has a very nice bitterness, nice crispness, kind of hits you, and you swallow it, goes down really smooth, and you go back in for another sip. This is a beer that you can crush really quickly, but this is also a beer that you can sip on and kind of take your time with. Really nice stuff. Really cool. So, whoa, I wish I saved that one for later on because it had a little bit more of an aggressive hop character that I think might overshadow some of what I'm going to be getting in the next few beers. So I'm going to take a swig, reset the palate. Officially halfway done, and we're about 28 minutes in, so I think we're in good shape. In the meantime, comment in, let me know what you're drinking right now. If you're about to switch to the next beer, now is that time. Get on up, hit the beer fridge, crack a new one, and drop a comment. Let me know what you're drinking and why. What do you like it? Let me know what's going on. Give me some context. I think that's what the fun thing about this show that I really enjoy is like, hey, let's give some context around these beers. Why was it released? What are the circumstances of the release? What are the ingredients? What's going on with the style? That's always the fun part for me. And, I have to do a little bit of research before these shows just to kind of dig into each beer. And that's the fun part for me. Actually, more fun than drinking it, to be honest. I really like getting that context. Yeah, Tom, keep that palate clean. With these beers, it's way easier. I did a 6 double triple IPA tasting about a month ago, and that was one of the hardest tastings I've ever done. It was a fucking disaster. All right, so Pellaman's drinking Dank Poet Society from Rip. Johnny Rev in the house drinking that Timbo. Yeah, Pellaman is calling out Rip. Just released cans again, which is awesome. I just need to be able to get down to Huntington Beach to be able to grab some of those because I love what Rip's doing. Okay, next up, we're going to be doing a beer that I really like. This is Phil Pils from Highland Park Brewery. This is one that they have on a somewhat regular basis over at the brewery. German-style Pils, 5.2%. Let's see, do I have any other info? Very traditional, all German ingredients. Weyermann Pils malt, Tettnang, Hallertau, Mittelfrau, Saaz, and Safer. Let it lager for a few weeks. Snappy bitterness, floral freshness, and just a touch of bready malt in the background. So let's crack it open and try it. So this beer, appearance-wise, is a little bit of a departure from what we've seen up to this point. So we have, and I don't know if you're going to be getting this in the camera here, but we have a bit of a kind of like a, I don't want to say hazy, but there's kind of like a faded pale yellow versus a lot of the gold that we've been seeing. And then this head is actually like really fluffy. It's got those really tight, small bubbles, but the overall appearance of the head is like a little bit more creamy and fluffy than we were seeing as kind of like more of the sharp head that dissipated quickly. And you can see that retention's pretty nice. It's like a thick head that's really kind of moving around with the beer. So from an appearance standpoint, it's very interesting. Kevin, what's up, man? Yeah, someone called me out earlier about Enegren. I don't have them in this lineup, unfortunately. I was going only Pilsners that I already had in the fridge, and I'm plumb out of Enegren. Huge oversight. I don't know how you do a Pilsner tasting without Enegren. I'm an idiot. What can I say? Anyways, so we're this is beer number 5, and I got a few more. So I'm gonna jump into this beer. Again, very different appearance. That nose has, going from that last Italian Pils, going back into German style, we're getting more of that like earthy, floral spiciness. But there is a little bit of kind of sulfuric funk on this. Yeah, there's just a touch of sulfur on this that kind of tweaks the nose a little bit, where I don't know. It's not super appealing, to be honest. You don't get as much of it on the taste. There's a little bit there, and I actually like a lager that has just a touch of sulfur sometimes, at least on like a German style Pils. It's a little nostalgic for me. It kind of brings me back to like when I was first trying American lagers and kind of getting that like gross sulfur. I kind of like it in a weird way. But yeah, the nose compared to some of these other beers that preceded it, it's just a little funky, a little off. Now that I'm digging more and more into it, I like it, but it's kind of like a huge departure, especially from the Italian style Pils from Humble Sea that we had right before this. Yeah, Kevin, you're completely right. I drank them all already. Last one I had was that, how do you pronounce it? Willamette. That's not the way you pronounce it, but that single hop Pilsner series that they do, that's really cool. So this is a nice beer. Yeah, just grassy, herbal, not overpoweringly flavorful. Like, it really is well balanced. Yeah, a little bit of sulfur in there to kind of, sneak in and kind of give you like something a little bit different. I kind of like it though. But yeah, definitely different from what we've had so far. No, I haven't had the Grungeist one yet. It was the one right before it. It was the one they did like several months back, which was amazing. Mr. 2020, drinking that Socks and Sandals, the last of the hot box. Nice, man. Hope you enjoyed that one. That was a fun beer. Triple IPA, so be careful tonight, man. Don't be walking around heavy stainless steel equipment. All right, I didn't bring a bottle opener, and I need one for this beer. So I will go grab a bottle opener, and well, maybe my trusty assistant can bring one for me while I reset my palate. Let's see. Yeah, no Enegren. Yes, I am having my bottle opener brought to me so I can open up this Good Friends and a bottle of Pils from Alosta Brewing in Covina. And I think that I placed the bottle opener in a place that she can't find it. I gotta go grab it. Be right back. Wishbone. Thank you. All right, there we go. So we're back on. This is a weird bottle opener. All right. Okay. Sorry, let me do this one justice. Next up is Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills from Alosta Brewing Company, Covina, California. And I'm not a, what's the band here? I wrote this down. Pantera. I'm not a Pantera listener, so I didn't get the reference here, but they have a song that this is named after. So there's that. This was released as part of Alosta's 7-year anniversary, I think late last year. They sent this to me, and since they sent it, it won a medal most recently at like the New York International Beer Competition. So award-winning German-style pills, 5.5%. That's all I know. Let's drink it. Crystal clear. Got a nice mid-tone gold. This is kind of similar to the Crispy Life Pilsner that we started out with, where it's got just like this really nice, brilliant medium gold. So a little bit darker than some of the beers that we've had in the past few. Head retention is relatively low. Got a really sweet nose. I'm wondering if I'm kind of sensing a little bit of age on this bottle. It's got kind of this like caramel thing going on that I'm not having been getting in any of the German style beers, Pilsners that I've had so far. And I think I'm sensing a little bit of age on this bottle, which I was kind of afraid of because I tend to crack open bottles within 2, maybe 3 months at the most. And this one I think might be a little bit older than that. I don't know if they have a date. I've held on to this for a little bit, so my fault for sure. Let's see if that's coming through on the taste. But yeah, I mean, the lack of visible carbonation and nucleation, the nose, gives me a sense that this might be suffering a little bit. A little age, a little oxidation. Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate because obviously it just won an award at that New York International Beer Fest. So we know that this beer can bring it. Unfortunately, I've held on to this bottle for a little too long, and this isn't, I think, the optimal tasting conditions for it. It kind of has an initial impression of like a really crisp, like the body is like really, really nice right up front. Yeah, great body. Yeah, it's just, it comes through in just a little bit of an oxidized, incredibly thin undercarbed, a little bit more sweet than it should be type of way. Unfortunate because I really like the folks over at Alosta. They do some good work, and I haven't had a beer from them in a little bit, so I was looking forward to this, especially after hearing that this beer just won an award at the New York International Beer Fest. So not disparaging the brewery or the beer by any means. I just held on to this for too long. I kept it cold for most of this time, but let's see. Yeah, I don't see a date. Yeah, unfortunate. Sorry to Alosta. I was hoping for that to go a lot better. But yeah, check out Alosta if you can, because they do good work. So we're going to move right on into the next beer, second to last. This is another local brewery. This is from King Harbor in Redondo Beach. This is Topside Pilsner, and I don't have really any information on this beer. I was doing some Googling, searching around, trying to figure out like What is this beer all about? Maybe there's something on the label here. 5.5%. There's some small text. Give me a sec. Classic brewing techniques with exceptional ingredients. German heritage barley showcases the aromatic noble hop character, and the cold lagering process ensures a crisp, clean, refreshing finish, creating the perfect California coastal beer. Okay. Well, I am not on the California coast. I am a little bit more inland. But I am excited to crack this open. This is Topside Pilsner from King Harbor. These guys, I believe this is one of their flagship beers. I don't know how long they've been brewing this, but I think it's relatively new, within the last year or so. And yeah, just a nice kind of like classic looking label. King Harbor. Been a fan of these guys for a long time, since the early Hopped LA days. All right. Looking great on the pour. We got a nice kind of a little bit light gold. Nice head on top. Nice looking beer. Pretty crystal clear. VC tapped. What up? What up? Okay. Let's give it a sniffy. Yeah, really nice. It's got like a kind of perfumey thing going on, which I don't hate. A little bit of citrus. Kind of limey. Herbal for sure. So yeah, it's like floral, herbal, little bit of lime. Nice. It smells nice and clean. Second canning run of this Pils, German style Saffir and tradition hops. All right. Thank you, South Bay Brew Talk. Let's give it a try. Really, really nice. I mean, I'm coming off of a beer that wasn't really nice, into this where like everything is shining. Really nice mouthfeel on this, really great body. And then the hop character's really wonderful. Nice kind of like crisp, spicy bitterness at the very end. In terms of flavor, it's a little bit kind of like dialed back. I was getting more on the aroma than I am getting on the flavor, and that is perfectly okay. I think that when you're talking coastal lager, something that is easy to drink on or near the beach, you don't want a ton going on in terms of the complexity of flavors, and I'm all about that. I mean, I'm good with it. I'm going to do a mid-beer reset just to kind of make sure that that I'm getting everything I can out of this beer. But really, really nice. Great first impression for sure. Super light. It drinks lighter than any of the previous Pilsners that I've had here so far. Yeah, definitely drinks a lot lighter than any of these other beers, which is cool. I really like it. Trumer Pivo influence. Okay, nice. I dig it. Yeah, really crisp, nice bitterness. Yeah, herbal, floral, little bit of citrus. I'm down. I'm into it. Yeah, this is really, really good. Thanks for sending that over, guys. Really like that beer a lot. That's King Harbor Topside Pilsner, Redondo Beach, California. Check this beer out. I'm under the assumption that this is going to be kind of a regular part of the lineup going forward. And I'd say go for it, man. That's a great one to have for sure. Because I think like German style Pils, it hits on that, but it also, I think, is mellow and light enough to kind of cover the people coming in that want something, their light beer that isn't like an aggressive German style pils, I think that this kind of covers that too. It has like approachability. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's got approachability that I think some of these others don't really have. So that's pretty cool. All right, man, that's the first King Harbor beer I've tried in a very long time. I still have a few of the other beers that they sent over, and hopefully I'll work them into some kind of tasting, or maybe I'll just pop them open for fun one of these days pretty soon. The list is long, unfortunately, but I really like King Harbor. They've been putting out good beer for a long time. Recently had this brewer turnover, which I think always has my ears perked in terms of are things going to change for the better, for the worse? Like, I don't know. And so far, so good. So big up to the King Harbor team for keeping it going, building on the foundation that you guys have built to this point, and then looking towards the future. Where do things go? How are you taking things next level? And this is a really great example of that. So we have made it through 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Pilsners, most of them German style, 1 Italian style. And we're about to get into a Pilsner that breaks the mold. This is a brewery that is not in California. So this is the only non-California brewery. These guys are known for their lagers. They're known for doing things different. This is from Wayfinder. These guys are based in Oregon, right? Pretty sure. Yeah. I can't read fast enough, but yeah. Pretty sure they're based out of Oregon, Portland area. And this is a beer that they brewed for the band Russian Circles. I know I've listened to this band in the past. I can't remember exactly what their music is. I think it's heavy, kind of like post-rock, post-hardcore. Like, I think they're instrumental too. But yeah, this is called Russian Circles Black Pilsner. So please comment and let me know. Have you ever had a black Pilsner? Do you know what black Pilsner is? I know we've had black lagers, Schwartz beers and things like that. But what specifically are they doing here that makes this a black Pilsner? So I did take some notes. I don't know if it's going to answer that question, but let's see. So jet black, hop forward, post lager, clean and drying with complex, noble hops that balance the refined, delicate roast. A harrowingly gloomy and bittersweet take on a classic minimalistic beer. Okay, I'm into it. Let's do it. Black lager. Oh, I didn't bring a glass for this. All right, let me rinse one. You take the water cup and you give it a swirl. All right, let's drink this beer. So I have always had a soft spot in my heart for black lager. I am a Schwartz beer fanatic. And what we have here is a really nice deep brown with like amber edges, off-white head, super like small white bubbles, but super creamy. TMB. Too many beers? Yeah, so really nice looking head. Caroline's throwing me off. But yeah, really nice looking, creamy, kind of like the top makes you think like latte style head, right? But yeah, as this beer gets in, are you gonna get this in the light? You do have like those kind of like amberish like edges on this beer. So really nice deep dark brown. Really nice roast. So brewer Brit probably can understand this from a conceptual standpoint of black plus lager or black plus Pilsner. We've had kind of like traditional black lagers in the past, but specifically, what about this black lager makes it a black Pilsner, because I think, for me at least, that combination is particularly unique and somewhat new. Enegren McLeod collab. Okay, so that was a black Pilsner. Yeah, Art Deris, that looks so appetizing. Yeah, after all these really light German style pills, we got this black Pilsner, and it's got a really nice head, really nice roast character on the nose. It's got a touch of kind of like herbal, grassy stuff coming through, but like you're really only getting like kind of sweet, complex, little kind of bitter roast. Okay, so that Enegren McLeod collab was a black lager, and that was probably 2 years ago at this point, I would think. Maybe a year and a half? Probably 2. All right, let's give it a whirl. Really nice roast. This is one of those beers that you take a sip, or even you smell it, and the roast character is really, really front and center. So unless you really try to dig into what else is going on behind the scenes, the malt character is really just going to kind of steal the show. So I'm hoping that I can dig into this a little bit more and see what might be behind things here, because with that roasty malt character, it's just big and aggressive. It can cover up a lot of different things. Yeah, it's interesting to get the hop presence in the background. You know, I'm swallowing and I'm still kind of digging for hop presence there, and you're getting it. It's coming off a little bit perfumey, little floral, a little spicy. One of those things that happens when you have malt like this is that you don't have bright hop character like you do with all these other beers. It kind of dulls it down a little bit. It sweetens it a little bit, so you're getting something that kind of, if you've had a black IPA, you understand. This is even harder to kind of get into the hop character at the very end, but that's okay. That's what it's supposed to be doing. There's some balance here. This is really nice. Like, yes, Fernie Padass malty. Yes, like a beer like this is gonna come across malty. But it has this back end finish of like a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of floralness, a little bit of spiciness, that kind of keeps things in check a little bit. So because of that, Patus Nelgus asked, how's it finish? It finishes dry. It finishes dry for a beer that has, major in-your-face roast character or roasted malt like this. So it's got a really nice balance on it. I'm into it. Nice light body, really nice sweetness, but again, finishes really nice and dry. So super well balanced, really nice stuff. I wasn't sure what to expect with a black Pilsner, and now I get it. It's like I would say like a regular black lager, but it has more hop character on that back end to kind of balance things out, keep things drinking a little bit more bright, a little bit more light, and drier. So good stuff from Wayfinder. If you haven't had anything from Wayfinder, I highly recommend checking them out. Coming out of Portland, you see their beers hit some of the better bottle shops in Los Angeles on a somewhat regular basis these days. And if you like lagers, or if you feel like you need to dig into more lagers, I would say they're one that I would have in that kind of like top 5, at least if you're open to outside of Los Angeles. If you want to focus on Los Angeles, a lot of these guys that I introduced here today really hit on that, and some that I didn't. So I got to throw in a shout out to Enegren. Sorry, did not have you guys represented in this tasting. I feel like a failure. You definitely should have been in here, but sometimes you gotta, take the champ out for a second and let some of these other guys have a shot. So just a quick recap. I'm not going to taste them all again, but I will just kind of recap what we drank. We started things out with Crispy Life Pilsner from Liquid Gravity in San Luis Obispo. Then we have Fresh Pills of LA from Common Space. Then we had Tristeza Pilsner from Homage. And as I'm midway through here, I'm like, normally I pick a favorite and I drink that. I don't know if I could do that this time around, just because they're all different and they're all very good. So I'm not going to pick a fave, but I think that I'll have a little bit of each of them. I mean, they're low ABV. I'm normally drinking beers that are 7, 8, 9, 10% on this show, so I can only have one after. These are more 4.5 to 5%. Maybe I can have a few. Maybe I can have a little bit of each. So come on, cut me some slack, all right? Then we had the Paisley Pills, Italian-style pills from Humble Sea up in Santa Cruz. Then there was Phil Pills from Highland Park, German-style Pilsner. Then there was Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills from Alosta Brewing Company in Covina. Then we had one of the top beers tonight. I'd put these guys in the top 3 here. Topside from King Harbor. Really nice beer here. And then Wayfinder's Black Pilsner that we just finished. Very delicious, very interesting. Pellaman says, no more buying beer for Gary. I think we might have to start sending him care packages. Yes, I will take anything you can send. I'm going to do like a big giveaway and give away a bunch of beer pretty soon because I need to make some room. Fernie Pad, your cheeks aren't as red tonight. I know, right? I feel pretty in control this time. So this is what I'll do. I'll do a top 3 because I did say Topside was in that top 3. I'll say that I really liked the Tristeza Pilsner. So that's 2. Can I hold them in one hand? Let's see. I'm going to drop one. And then this is a tough one. Okay, so it's between Crispy Life and Fresh Pills. Okay, so maybe I will do for the top 3. I'm gonna decide. There's a tiebreaker taster here. Tiebreaker. Okay, just the nose, just a little bit. And Crispy Life. Okay, I'm just off the nose. Okay, I gotta taste it now. Wonderful. Okay, top 3 right here. Tristeza, Topside, and Crispy Life Pilsner from Liquid Gravity. So this is my top 3 of the evening. All 3 really delicious. The rest are really great too. But yeah, definitely check all these guys out. Really delicious stuff. Yeah, what can I say? So Fernie Pat's asking, can you show the label artwork of the bomber? So yeah, it's not really a bomber. It's like a 500 or not 500. I don't know what it is, but it's like one of these like in between bomber and small one. So that's what it is here. Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills. Award-winning beer. Unfortunately, mine wasn't award-winning. Tom says, my wife says she likes your background music. Yeah, it's eclectic. It's nice. Okay, guys, so that was my top 3. That was the Pilsner tasting. I drank 8 different Pilsners. What was I thinking? Got through it in an hour. I always do it. All right, guys, so enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to see you on these Friday tastings. Always drink good beer, drink indie, drink local. Tag me in any photos that you post. I wanted to know what you're drinking throughout the week. And then on Friday, we can catch up and talk about it. So that's it for this evening. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. And we'll talk to you next week. Peace out.